I'm going to switch things up a bit tonight just because I've been noticing just so often that the people in this world, it's just so sinful. It is so terribly sinful, and what this world needs is for Christians to stand up. But it's important how we stand up. I think that that's been the problem, is that too many Christians don't stand up for right. They don't stand up for truth. And unfortunately, many who do don't stand up in the right way. And they lose the message in the process. Turn to Ephesians 4:15. Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ. Speaking the truth in love. If you listen to the television, if you go on Facebook, if you go out in the streets, there's very little speaking the truth in love. There's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of meanness. And that's not the way it should be. We will never grow up into Christ until we learn to speak the truth in love. I've always said that the devil is the father of lies, and he always lies on both sides. We forget that sometimes, and something's over here, and so we jump over here instead of realizing 9 times out of 10, the devil lied on both sides. He's got you too much over here, and then it got too far over here, and the truth is somewhere in between. And Christians need to learn to speak the truth in love. There is so little of that in this world today that I truly believe if we Christians will start doing that, it will make everybody sit up and listen. Because they're used to having Christians shake their finger and be mean. Or Christians over here going, oh well, that's okay. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Christians need to take a stand for the truth, but do it in a way that is loving. And, you know, God does not leave us in the dark. He lets us know what we need to do. Paul in 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, deals with what is love. Because if you don't know what it is, you can't do it. It's just real simple. And he explains how important it is. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. That's what a lot of Christians have become today. A noisy gong, a clanging cymbal, just noise. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. You go to church 3 times a week. You can pray when you get up. You can pray at every meal. You can pray when you go to bed. If you don't have love, you're nothing. If I give away all I have and deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. He's pretty clear here explaining that doesn't matter all the things that we think that are important to God, and they are. Does God tell us to take care of our fellow man? Yes. But if we don't do it from a heart of love, in a manner of love, it is useless. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It fails. And so we need to understand that we need to always give ourselves a love checkup. We usually get the checkout list and we go, okay, went to church, didn't do this, didn't do that, I did this, and we check off all the things. When we're doing our spiritual checkup, isn't that what we generally do? We look at all the things we do and not our motive for doing them and our method for doing them. We need to add to that spiritual checklist, check our love. Love is patient. Don't you just sometimes just want to slap people because they don't get it? Yes, you probably do. But that's not love. And you probably will want to do it again. But when that happens, you have to remember, love is patient. God waited thousands of years to send his son. And he's waited almost 2,000 to come back, waiting for those who would be saved to be saved. God is patient with us, and love demands that we be patient with other people. Does it drive you crazy that they don't learn? Yeah, it probably does. Does it drive you crazy that they can't see it? Have you ever been trying to teach somebody and you make it so plain that your dog understands it, and they just, not mean, they just don't get it. But love is patient. And one thing I want to say here is, this is the agape love. It's the love we have for everyone. But if we have it for everyone, we need to have it for our spouse too. We need to have that. We need to be patient with each other. We need to be patient with church members. And we especially need to be patient with those who are lost. We need patience and kind. I love a good joke better than most people. I love jokes. But if you're on Facebook, there are a lot of just plain mean-spirited jokes. You know, we Christians are very careful not to make dirty jokes. But we're not always so careful to not make mean-spirited jokes. Jokes that are meant to hurt, not to promote laughter. Kindness is something that we need to practice. Have we been kind Have we said things in a kind way? Or did we say them mean? It's so important that we learn to be kind. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Random acts of kindness is not enough. We need to be kind all the time. We need to be kind. We need to be thinking about that other person's feelings. Yeah, maybe they're being totally ridiculous. Does that happen? Yeah, it sure does. But God wants us to be kind in dealing with that. Love does not envy or boast. I don't think that the people in this congregation have much of a problem with that. But we do have to be careful that we don't envy and boast. How many friendships have been wrecked by envy? How many have been wrecked by boasting about what you have? I want to tell you a story of one of the nicest men I've ever known. He's passed away and gone to be with God forever now. His name was Harold Heiner. One of the nicest, kindest men. If you needed something, he would give it to you. He wouldn't give you his fishing boat because you never needed a fishing boat. But you could have his car anytime you needed it. You could have anything. His heart was so full of love. But he told me one time of the sin that just tore him apart. His brother bought one of those little pickups. And Harold said, "That's a pretty good pickup. I think I'll go get me one." Then he bought the pickup, and his brother comes over and says, "Yeah, I only paid so much for this pickup." He paid a whole lot less than Harold did. He was boasting about that, and Harold, he said, "Yeah, but I got it for $100 cheaper." He lied. And that bothered him for years. But what caused that? Envy and boasting caused the lie. So we have to be careful that we don't encourage people to do wrong by boasting and bragging. And that we always learn to do things in a humble way. And we need to learn not to envy. One of the best ways to learn not to envy is to realize that everybody has their problems. If you think you want to be rich, well, that sure might be nice, but you might end up like Howard Hughes. No better off than a homeless man. Love doesn't envy. It does not insist on its own way. Well, that's a hard one, isn't it? My way's the right way. I know it is. Sometimes, if it's not a "thus saith the Lord," it's best to say, "Well, you know what? Let's try it your way. Let's try that." Because 9 times out of 10, the things we fight about, it doesn't matter. The things we fight about are just about like Arkansas roads. There's none of them that are the right road to get anywhere. And there's none of them that's any shorter. It just isn't. It's always the long way. So accept that about life, and we'll try it this way. Yeah, it may not be as good. Maybe it's even better. You'll never know till you try. It is not arrogant or rude. That can poison your entire Christian demeanor. It can poison your Christian witness when you're rude and arrogant. Because love thinks about the other person. That's why these things come in, because the idea of this love is you're thinking about them. What do they need? Do they need you to be arrogant? Do they need you to be rude? You're not helping them. Those are things you do for yourself. When you feel down, you get arrogant. You get rude because you feel hurt. But the key to love is to always keep our focus on the person in front of us and the God above us. And if we do that, we don't fall into these traps of being rude and arrogant and being kind. And we'll stop there, and we'll cover the last part of it next Sunday night. It's not usually what I do, but I just felt that it was time that we had to start going back and concentrating on love. Our nation needs it, our congregation needs it, and our souls need it.